Hello, everyone. Finally got this working. Okay. We're here today. Me and my good friend.
Oh, you want me to do it?
Cue.
Superhero
Yeah.
enthusiast.
Yeah, dude, that was your cue. Anyway.
We're off to a
Uh,
good start.
yeah. Anyway, we're here to do a commentary and somewhat of a debunking of some of these criticisms this movie has got. So, yeah, I just came up with this plan like about a week ago, and I asked Alex here to join me, my good friend who's now doing a podcast series with me. He's just recently posted a review discussion with a couple of his friends. I wasn't invited, but that's okay. So check out it's on the new RoboCop movie. I'm sure it's great, but I haven't seen RoboCop, so I haven't watched that yet. So
There's a big spoiler warning at the start, so.
yeah. And I recently watched something that had like no spoilers in it, but I felt a little bit spoiled with it. But I needed something a little spoiled to watch that movie, so I might go and see it. So, but anyway, we're here to talk about The Dark Knight Rises, and yeah, so just get your DVDs all set up. I had a little problem with mine. I should just get that out of the way first. With my computer just doesn't seem to like dual layer discs. So I'm going to be watching this by subtitles on my TV. I've had to move my brand new, well, not brand new, my second-hand desk that I got and rotate it. But it's actually probably worked out better this way, so I can read the notes I've got for this, because I'm doing that now. I'm going off notes. Okay. But before we start, I went to the midnight screening of this. Alex, did you go to a midnight screening or did you wait?
I didn't go to midnight screening, but I'm not sure there was one in my area. I went to it the first day that it came out, though.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it was released out here like around about the same time anyway, so I don't think that there would have been much difference. But I generally left the theater enjoying this, and then I saw a certain reviewer that we both know, and he really surprised me with his reaction, because I usually it seems like him and I are both on the same wavelength most of the time. We're not far apart. It was like the first time I was like, what? Okay, so anything else you want to say before we start?
This is a movie that gets a lot of hate sometimes. I'm a really big fan of it. That's not to say that I don't think it doesn't have some problems, but for me, the good in this film massively, massively outweighs the bad.
I've since come to when I left the theater, I actually thought this was better than the Dark Knight, to be honest. But I've since thought, no, it's not quite up there, but it's definitely really good.
In my opinion, I know it might objectively be the worst. I mean, or more just like least best of the three, but that said, it's still probably my favorite of them, just because kind of the emotional stuff in this movie just really hits me personally in the right place. So that's why I like it.
Okay. Now, there are some criticisms on this list that I've got here that I may somewhat agree with, but like, don't ruin the film for me. But there's a couple others that I know of that another reviewer from a certain well-known website brought up, and it's not the one you're thinking of. It's not the Nostalgia Critic guys out there listening. It's not him. It's a different one. But yeah, I think we should get started now. So
yeah, let's go for
it. Get your your DVDs, past all the FBI warnings and all that, out of the menu, and you should be just about to see the WB logo. So I'm going to press play in 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Fantastic. Look at that. Look at those studio buildings.
It all looks so blue.
I'm watching this in stunning 1080p. It's
Whoa.
very, very clear.
Okay. I can't hear anything, but I love the legendary logo.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when I see that, I know I'm going to see a good movie.
Yeah, and apparently they're not doing financing with Warner Brothers anymore. It's going to be Dune Entertainment who's doing, I guess, future DC movies.
Oh, okay.
I hate the new DC Comics logo so much.
Is that the one for this?
Yeah, they used it for this one.
Oh, okay. One might think that Mr. Freeze is going to be in this if you hadn't.
I was going to say I love the ice. Would have been appropriate if they did this for Batman and Robin.
Yeah. It wouldn't have made it a better movie, but
True. Obviously, it's pretty thematic of a lot of the stuff in this movie, and thawing out and on thin ice and such. But I'm curious if they filmed that Gordon part there when they filmed The Dark Knight.
Maybe.
Or if they had to completely recreate it. Oh, it's Littlefinger from Game of Thrones.
Okay. I don't really. I've only watched the first season, and I'm not really that familiar with all the characters. I'm just like.
Okay. He's the guy who runs the brothel.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't recognize him at first without the mustache. I guess they're in Uzbekistan at this part.
Yeah.
Central Asia. That's one of those countries where, like, the borders don't make sense because Stalin deliberately drew them so that people couldn't threaten his power.
Here on the Magpie's Nest commentaries, you get an education while watching your favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love this plane bit. This is
oh yeah.
like I'd heard the trailer and I was like really fearful of what I was going to hear when I heard Bane's voice. And I'd seen like bits and pieces of this online because like it had been released on YouTube briefly.
Yeah.
The opening part. And of course, being filmed in a theater, it didn't come out as well. But this bit with Bane's voice, I can't hear it, but I love it.
Yeah.
It put all my fears at bay. After that, I was like, I can understand him perfectly.
Yeah, and I think when they first released the prologue, the sound mix was just kind of not finished yet. So it didn't sound as good, but it sounds perfectly fine here.
But when I first saw the trailer and I saw Bane's face, I was like, okay, this is not going to be the Batman and Robin Bane.
No, not at all. It's kind of cool how similar the mask actually is to the comics one, despite the fact that it's completely different, because the negative space of the mask forms the white parts of, like, the comic luchador mask.
Oh, okay. Sorry, having a drink while I'm doing this, because it is fracking hot.
I think this was actually filmed in Scotland, though.
Okay.
This part, despite
it looks like it. Looks like it.
Yeah. This whole prologue bit with the two planes and the fact that they actually pulled this off with practical effects is just mind blowing.
Yeah. Who says you need green screen for this? Oh, you need green screen for all that.
No. Well, practical effects take more effort, but they look so much better.
Like, you would think that they filmed this all on.
Yeah, on some kind of green screen, blue screen
thing, but no. Now, obviously, that stuff within the plane was done.
Yeah, that was done
on a set.
On a set, but yeah, like that actually happened. Boom! There go the wings.
Eat that, Michael Bay.
Yes, eat it, and I hope you choke on it.
Not looking forward to the Turtles movie, but I'm going to have to see it because I grew up on them. But anyway,
this whole plan here that Bane has is utterly amazing, and I mean, like, basically they're going to take the actual guy's blood and, like, put it into a corpse so that they think when they look at the forensics that it's actually, Dr. Pavel. Like, that's just, who would even think of that?
Yeah.
They really got all bases covered.
It'll be a while before I get to the first criticism because it's a while before that comes up. But
the thing I really like about this too is, I mean, it's all just to show how physically capable Bane is, but specifically here, we'll see in a minute, they'll drop the plane and Bane and him will be hanging, and it's very reminiscent of The Dark Knight when Batman takes Lau from Hong Kong. And so it's kind of show, like, Batman could, like, steal a guy from a building, but Bane could steal a guy from a plane with another plane. Like, that's even more crazy, and it shows how he's very much Batman's superior with all the, I guess, ninjaing stuff. Yeah, that's shot there.
Now, this is kind of like the first criticism. What do you think about the 8-year absence of Batman?
I'm okay with it. I mean, it needed time, like, for what happened at the end of The Dark Knight to really sink in and, like, see its effects.
Because that's a complaint I hear a lot. Oh, Batman wouldn't quit.
Well, this version of Batman never intended to be Batman forever. So
he never intended to be. Val Kilmer?
No.
Yeah, but I get your point. But and that's established in Batman Begins, and I'm like,
yeah, and in The Dark Knight, he's trying to give it up and hand over the thing to Harvey, but he shows. I mean, I think the thing that he learns in this movie is, like, the hero with a face thing doesn't work because that person is fallible, and so you need the hero with a mask that we don't know who it is, so that he can be that, like he says in Begins, that kind of everlasting symbol that will resonate with people.
He can, as a man, he can be destroyed, he can be ignored.
Mm-hmm.
But as a symbol,
hello.
But the reason for his giving up is he lost Rachel, and people forget that woman was the first woman he loved, and he never stopped. Like, even when he was traveling the world learning, he still, I get the impression he still loved her, and he wanted to come back and fix all that.
Yeah, and I mean, part of the reason that he quit too was, like, they won, as he says later on. They got the legislation passed. The major crime isn't really a thing anymore in Gotham City, as the mayor just said. He accomplished what he set out to accomplish, but he hasn't bothered to really, because he lost Rachel, he hasn't bothered to continue on and have, like, a real life, which he's able to do, obviously at the end of this movie. Because, spoiler alert, you shouldn't be watching this if you haven't seen film before.
Yeah. Like, get out from underneath that rock that you got on top of you. But yeah, I was like, I was surprised by the 8-year absence, but I was like, oh, okay, they're doing a kind of a less distant
Dark Knight
Returns. Yeah, there's the influence of that. Nightfall, No Man's Land, all these comics that I've heard so much about. I haven't had a chance to read yet, but they're on the list.
You definitely should. No Man's Land is one of those things where I think the novelization's better.
Yeah.
Here we have Miranda Tate and John Daggett.
One from the comics, one from the animated series?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, Daggett is Roland Daggett, I guess, in the comics, or in the animated series, rather. And I was so unsure, because, like, I noticed a lot of things in these movies that seemed like they were taken from the animated series, and I was totally unsure until I saw this character. And I was like, okay, yeah, they're definitely drawn, because that's the only thing he's been in.
Mm. He's not in the comics. He has nothing to do with... Oh, I guess that, like, Clayface has, like, had so many versions of himself.
Yeah, that's true. And we see Gordon still hasn't really changed. He's still kind of on high alert. I was not really... I was kind of surprised with some of the stuff that they did with Foley in this movie. Like, we'll maybe get to that later, but...
Yeah.
I definitely didn't like the way he died at the end.
Really?
Yeah. But, oh, here's Batman to show that he can totally beat Green Arrow even.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, just a plug. Go watch another good Australian YouTuber, Shades at Night. He does I don't know if he's still doing it, but What Did We Do? That's great parody of, like, this scene and numerous others.
Anne Hathaway's performance in this is mind-blowing.
Okay, I'm going to make a controversial statement.
Oh, you don't?
Best Catwoman in live action.
Oh, that's a question?
No, I'm saying it. Best live action Catwoman.
You think Anne Hathaway is?
Yeah, I read Long Halloween. I'm like,
I'm in agreement with you.
Yeah. Like, people say Michelle Pfeiffer did a great job. Sorry.
She did okay, but I mean, I don't know. That movie is just that movie. I love how Bruce is totally, like, already fallen for her right here.
Yeah, I just don't know whether to put her above animated series.
Oh, Adrienne Barbeau.
Catwoman.
Yeah, it's hard to say just because, I mean, this is like a very specific version and kind of serves the purposes of this movie. And I mean, that's the case for every interpretation, but animated series is kind of... I know, I kind of actually like Catwoman better in the new Batman Adventures in that.
I'm going to grab that on DVD because it's like... Okay, John Blake's just come on, so... Joseph Gordon-Levitt, thank you for putting Shia LaBeouf away. Oh. Hard to believe. Same kid from Third Rock from the Sun, but...
Yeah, I know. That thing is still up there, despite the fact that, you know, they wrecked it.
Yeah.
I think...
I don't know what this note means, to be honest, but John Blake
Go ahead.
Outsmarted Jim Gordon. I don't know what... I must have put that on there, but I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah. I think their point is that, you know, how could John Blake figure it out, but not Jim Gordon? But Jim Gordon didn't want to find it out. He wasn't trying. He was deliberately trying not to.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. Like in this scene here, that connects to another scene that people criticize a lot. I could tell it in your face scene, and that he comes up here specifically to tell Gordon who he is. But Gordon shuts him down and says, like, you know, he was the Batman. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Just...
He has a telescope. What do you think of this Batcave?
Not the best one, but not the worst either.
Yeah.
I don't like the Tim Burton one in the 89.
Mm-hmm.
I like the animated series one. I like the one in the Lego Batman movie.
I think this one's okay. It's not I'm not crazy about it, but it's a really interesting concept anyway. Like, I like that things, like, he can still kind of hide what's down there.
Oh.
You always kind of wonder, though, like, how did they get this shit built?
Well, it's kind of very limited, and I get the impression that more people know the secret than what they are. Like they probably would have said, "Oh, okay, we just want this platform down here," and like the computer and that was all installed.
Yeah.
Afterwards, because like,
or they're like,
comes up with some lame excuse. Oh,
yeah.
I want to be able to dive down here or something, like spelunking down here or something.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, there's a cave down there, so I want to make this awesome panic room kind of a place, and that makes sense for a rich person. That beard is gross.
It's supposed to be.
I
That's
know.
the point. He's entered this deep depression because the woman he loved is dead. He's never going to see her again. And I kind of understand that. Oh, I love this bit. I had this fantasy of seeing you there with a wife. You want to talk to me and I want to talk to you.
And obviously this pays off big time at the end, but...
Yeah, Nolan knows how to make an ending to a movie.
Yeah. Thank you for giving Bruce Wayne a happy ending.
Yeah, God forbid you do that. No.
But it's really interesting sort of how... Like, I think Alfred is kind of his... People say, like, surrogate father figure, but I think he's kind of the surrogate mother figure. And Lucius Fox is really the surrogate father figure. Because, like, Lucius is the one who gives him all the cool toys to play with, and is like, go have fun. And, like, Alfred's the one who has to clean up after it, you know, kiss his bruises and give him Band-Aids and stuff. Put him to bed.
So we've been addressed a couple of them for those criticisms already. That's good.
I love the smokestacks because it's very Dickensian, and obviously they draw a lot from Tale of Two Cities. And this whole kids underground, working underground thing, that's got to be from Underdwellers in Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
Bane is the sewer king. And I mean, that villain was very Dickensian too. I mean, if you look at his outfit.
Sorry, I'm just admiring the awesomeness that is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Levitt, whatever.
That guy.
Yeah. I actually like the idea of him being the next Batman.
I'm fine with it. I mean, he's somebody who, you know, would have been, had he had the money, so he became the next best thing, and that's a cop.
Yeah.
And, like, I know people at the end say all these things of, like, oh, he's, you know, he doesn't have any training. And it's like, well, he's not going to go out and be Batman the very first night that, you know, after he finds the cave.
Yeah. I think this guy is from Torchwood. I think.
Yeah. I've seen him in pictures for Torchwood.
Okay, it is the same guy. It's like sometimes people look alike.
Yeah.
And I'm not 100% sure, but completely different character. He plays a complete asshole in Torchwood.
Oh. He's a bad guy here, though, too.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, he's not a complete asshole. Like, trust me, if you watch Torchwood, you'll be like, oh god, he's actually somewhat nice.
I know, I like this scene a lot. Shows how, like, she's really smart and capable and has covered her bases.
Yeah, like I said, best live action Catwoman. You're gonna need a thumbprint. You just used his phone. Awesome.
Yeah. The character that Juno Temple plays in this was, I don't know if she was totally necessary. I mean, maybe a little bit, just to show that, like, Selena has some connection to, I guess, people and to the rest of Gotham, but she doesn't really have much to do.
Is that little girl?
The blonde one, yeah.
Is she comic book?
Well, there's a character called Holly in the comics, but that's not what this character's called, so I think she's based on Holly. Oh, music's quite loud in this scene.
I wouldn't know. Yeah. I remember a lot of this in the theater. I was already, I was engrossed in this. I hate to be such a Nolanite, but hey, I didn't like Man of Steel, so I'm not completely on board with him yet.
Well, I don't think he was the problem with Man of Steel. So, yeah. I think he was like, yeah, this sci-fi element, or like this approach of first contact, that's interesting. And then it was like, David Goyer can't write a script to save his life, and Zack Snyder is incredibly tone-deaf when it comes to superheroes, so we got what we got.
He did an alright job with Watchmen, but he directed that. It was adapting a story.
I think Watchmen largely missed the point of the book, but that's maybe a whole other discussion. All this big alley shootout.
Before I do a thing on that, I've got to watch the Ultimate extended cut.
It is the best one, but I still think it largely misses the point.
Anyway, about to head down to the sewers.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Sewer. There's so much, like, thematic stuff in this movie of, like, up and down and, like, rises and falls, and there's so much about, like, that whole up and down, I guess, dichotomy in this that's really
symbolism.
Yeah. Go figure. In a movie. Yeah, because, you know, Batman isn't literally about, you know, the 1% dressing up like animals and punching people. You know, go figure. It's about more than that.
Symbolism, people.
Oh, big explosion. Oh, Jim Gordon.
What do you think of Gary Oldman as Jim Gordon? Probably the best live-action Jim Gordon.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to compare with. I mean, like, Neil Hamilton from the 60s series is... I mean, the whole purpose of Gordon that is just to give Batman cases, essentially. And to, like, not be able to do his job. Pat Hingle is a good actor. He just wasn't given really anything to do. Apparently there was a scene, I guess, in Batman 89 that was like the scene in Batman Begins where, you know, Gordon is the cop who, you know, finds Bruce after his parents are murdered, and is friendly to him. And that's why he signed on to the role, but I guess that got cut.
Alright, now there's some scars on Bane's back in this scene, and I noticed there was a couple of scars on Talia, the woman that was Talia in this back. So I was like, okay, there's a connection between the two of them. I picked that right away.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, there's something going there.
Well, and, I mean, she uses all these paraphrased quotes from Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins of, like, you know, do what's necessary and, you know, put the world in balance. And it's like, laying it on kind of thick. I kind of like that Bane is a little bit more husky in this. I find that slightly more intimidating for some reason. But Tom Hardy got huge for this.
How tall is he?
Tom Hardy's not really all that tall in real life.
Because I'm just thinking he's taller than that. So what is he, standing on boxes in this movie?
It's just camera angles and stuff. Clever tricks of the camera.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, there was someone else I was going to say that would have, like, if they wanted to go the whole Mexican route, they could have hired a Mexican wrestler to actually play Bane.
Well, I'm wary of hiring wrestlers and stuff unless they can genuinely act. Like, I think the best person for the role,
yeah,
has got to be.
I was just saying, if they wanted to, that's not the route they went. They went a different story with him. And certain people on the internet might bitch about that. Oh, he's not Hispanic.
I think it is maybe a little troubling that it seems like all the ethnic villains in these movies have been whitewashed, but it works for what they're trying to do. A lot of people complain about, like, how does John Blake know what outflow Gordon is going to come out of, but I don't think he knew. It was just he knew that was a way in from before, and so that's where he was going in, and Gordon, I guess, coincidentally happened to come out of that one.
Yeah.
But I guess this is the big scene that everybody complains about, it seems. With the, how does he know? Like, he just saw from his face? That doesn't make sense. It was a fake smile? What? I think this scene needed some more work with the writing. Because the way that I read it is like, he says, and to the other kids, they were just that. They were just stories. And, like, he's kind of implying, like, I never stopped believing the stories, and then when I grew up and became, a police officer, I put two and two together and thought, like, oh, that actually makes sense.
Yeah. Bit work, but I think it works to a degree. It doesn't 100% work, but it makes the point as quickly as possible, because you got to understand that's the whole time crunch thing. You can't have people sitting in a theater for 3 hours apparently anymore.
Apparently.
Unless there's a ship gonna sink.
I would have been fine if this had been like a 5-hour movie. I don't care, but that might have been better for it. I don't know, but I just I think maybe this scene, they could have made his thought process a little bit more explicit, and that would have prevented a lot of the criticisms.
Yeah.
But it's clear he's already a detective, so he can be Batman. And he's going to become a literal detective soon.
Yeah, I like John Blake. I'm not like Real Manos. I actually like.
I'm fine with him. He's kind of a combination of the three main Robins in a sense of like Dick Grayson, when he grew up, he became a police officer. Like Jason Todd, he had a terrible upbringing, and like Tim Drake, he figured out who Batman was. And I guess like Terry McGinnis, then he's going to actually become Batman at some point.
Yeah, because he's not going to be Robin. They just put that in there because...
Yeah, he was Robin all along. That's what they were saying by that, right? Because it's like, oh, you should go by your name, like the name that he had the whole time.
Okay. I think this Doctor is kind of like Lucius Fox. He's in on the secret because he says something similar to what what Lucius would say. It's like, yeah, you're not going to go Helsking. And it's because of the doctor-patient confidentiality, he can't say it. It's a short scene, but that's what I'm taking away from it. That's what I took away from it this last time I watched it.
I don't think he's in the know. But
you don't think the Doctor's in the know?
No.
You don't think the Doctor can figure out how he got all those injuries?
No, well, I mean, he is using all the same excuses that he used in Begins with Lucius, but, like, if you can tell when he talks to Lucius at this point, like, Lucius knows. They're not pretending anymore.
Like, Lucius knew in The Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, like, that they're playing the same game.
Gordon is so poetic.
Mm.
This evil rises. It's kind of cool that we got to see like the ski mask thing again. And here he is doing detective work. Yeah. Figuring out where the pearls are. It's a tracking device.
Yeah. So, there is some detective work in this. It's not completely gone.
There is in every one of these movies. It's just not the focus. And I think that's maybe some people's misunderstanding, is they think that it not being the focus equals it not being there. And that's not the case. I mean, he was doing detective work before. He was looking stuff up on the computer. You know, he was dusting for prints, or I guess she was dusting for prints, and he was analyzing that. So,
it's because some people like their only Batman is animated series.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't do detective stuff in every one of those episodes. So, you know, it's an aspect of the character. It's just one that they chose not to focus too much on with these movies. Oh, here we see some foreshadowing. She's not who she says she is. She's wearing a mask.
I like this woman in Public Enemy, so I was like, oh, she's going to be in this? Cool.
Yeah, she was really good in that. I guess Christian Bale was in that movie too, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's like...
oh, they've worked together before.
He was good in that.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Bale.
He's a really good actor.
Yeah, I knew from the get-go, I didn't bitch that he was going to be Batman.
Some people did, and it's like, why?
Didn't you see American Psycho?
Yeah, really.
Come on.
Well, they were all like, he was in Newsies, and it's like, that was when he was a child.
It's like, because I had seen, like, bits and pieces of American Psycho, and I was like, that's going to be Batman? Awesome!
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it shows he had the Bruce Wayne part pretty much down pat.
Oh, like, there was that dark undertone. I was like, yep, he's going to be good.
He can play a guy with a double life. There's so much flirtation in the scene. And I've never been someone who's really bought into the whole Bruce and Selina relationship. Because he kind of, by definition, is all about commitment. And she's all, you know, not about that. She's about the opposite. She wants to keep her options open. At least comic Selina. But, you know, the way that they make it work here is like she's wanting a way out. She wants a fresh start like he does. So I totally buy, I guess, the Bruce-Selina relationship in this movie. And this is really the only place that I really buy it.
It was brought up in the 60s show. I think that's... I don't know if it happened before that, but that's where it seemed to come off.
Well, it's always kind of been that way of, like, they're attracted to one another, but, you know, she's a criminal, and, you know, he's, I guess, a vigilante. He's not technically the law, but, you know, he wants to help the law, and so that's why they can't be together. But, you know, over the years, it's kind of become a little bit more than that. Just kind of because they're two different people with two different kind of philosophies on life. But it works here.
Yes. Like, it's another thing, not completely at the forefront, so therefore people bitch about it.
Yeah.
Like, you just met her. What? They're having dinner at this place. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily together, but it could mean that maybe they're trying it out. Maybe they don't end up together completely. It's up to interpretation.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, Bruce, maybe they do, you know, wind up together because they do have, you know, a lot in common, but, you know, he's at least moved on and is able to have a relationship with somebody, even if it's one that, you know, potentially might not last. He was able to get past, you know, the death of Rachel, which, I mean, I never really bought that relationship, but that's fine because I don't think we were supposed to, because they were kind of more like brother and sister in a way.
I didn't really buy it in the first one. I bought it in the second one on his side. I didn't necessarily buy it on
Yeah, well, that's the thing is,
So,
like, they kind of establish that he's kind of emotionally stunted at the age that his parents were killed. And so, really, it's like he's just kind of fixated on her because that was the girl that he had a crush on when he was a kid.
mhm.
And I kind of see the same thing with the Bane and the Talia relationship in this later, in that, like, he likes her, but he's been totally friend-zoned.
Yeah.
Oh, here we are with Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, I don't. There's a part of me that just doesn't buy that. He'd let his parents' company tank.
Well, basically he wasn't, but kind of what he was doing was investing, a lot of money into making the fusion thing work, and then he found out, oh, it can be turned into a weapon, and he's like, I don't want to do this anymore, and at that point it's kind of too late.
Yeah.
But it's kind of interesting how kind of the destroy the city plots, which is something that people have criticized about these movies, is like that's the plot of all of these. All of them are sort of symbolic of like what Bruce is going through in each movie, in that in Batman Begins he's taking he's trying to deal with his father's legacy, and trying to use fear against bad guys. And what's the villain plot? They use the monorail, like the physical embodiment of his father's legacy, to spread fear toxin all throughout the city. In The Dark Knight, he's trying to put down Batman and pass the mantle kind of onto a hero with a face, Harvey Dent, somebody who is a legitimate actor of the law and of society. And the Joker comes in and completely, destroys Harvey Dent and destroys. I mean, everything the Joker does, he uses like public infrastructure and basically turns society against itself. And so Bruce realizes then, like, oh yeah, this vigilante thing, the person has to be outside the law. And then in Rises, I mean, the same way that Batman was intended to be a symbol of hope, he had to turn it into like a villain, essentially. He takes the blame for killing Harvey Dent. The bomb, or I guess the fusion reactor, is something that was supposed to sustain the city, conceivably indefinitely, into the future, and it gets turned into like this negative thing. It gets turned into a bomb later by the bad guys.
Sorry, to bring this up, because it's on the list, the disappearing limp.
Well, he has the thing on his leg.
Yeah. It's like right there. Is that a huge problem?
We never see his bare leg in the prison, so we don't know if like Bane and them took it off.
Or it can be taken off without...
Yeah.
Because it seems to be like...
They took off his suit, which is kind of creepy.
You would be naked. That's...
No, they weren't going to torture him of his body.
Dude, you you have a nice body. Oh wait, no, that's a different movie with Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. I like how Alfred is trying to like just scare him in this, and like say like this guy, like he's not gonna, he's gonna kick the shit out of you. Die.
Yeah.
And I think this is part of the lesson that Bruce learns of like, Batman, yeah, he has to go. He can't just be the thing that inspires fear. He has to be the thing that inspires hope. He has to be that kind of folk hero type of character. Because, Alfred, all of Alfred's attempts to scare him are sort of like Batman's attempts, to do stuff in the city. And, Bruce realizes, oh, it didn't work on me. It was Alfred leaving. It was Alfred kind of having a bit of an intervention there and saying, like, I am not going to stand here and prop you up while you destroy yourself. You have to learn to stand on your own. And that's kind of what he does for Gotham City at the end.
I can't believe you make my exact point for me in the exact way I was going to, but in a better way than I was going to. Because, that was what I was going to say, because that's on the list too. Alfred wouldn't leave him. Well,
Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
It's an intervention. Like, if you've ever dealt with somebody who has addiction problems, at a certain point, like, you want to support them, but you can't. You have to take yourself out of their life.
Did we not learn nothing from the Saw movies?
Yeah. This whole stock market scene, maybe has my favorite line of the movie, and that's just there's no money to steal here. It's like, then why are you people here?
Yeah. Oh.
But it's funny because obviously the scene ends with the whole motorcycle chase thing, and one of the criticisms is like, how does it become dark so fast? And if you actually watch really closely, it's like it gradually gets dark, because the stock market is at closing time. This is supposedly taking place in fall, so it should be getting dark around that time. It takes about 10 or 15 minutes for it to get dark that time of year. So it all makes sense, because people maybe forget, they go into a tunnel at a certain point, and they're in the tunnel for a while.
Yeah.
And then they come out of it, and, like, presumably they kind of imply, like, at least 10 or 15 minutes has passed.
Yeah, it looks like it's getting dark, the police cars are showing up.
Yeah, we see all the lights turn on. But, oh, Bane, you're so menacing. That guy's purple tie does not go with his blue shirt at all.
Here on Magpie's commentaries, you get fashion tips as well.
Yep.
I like this guy that plays Foley, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I get him and Aaron Eckhart mixed up sometimes.
Yeah.
They kind of look alike.
Matthew Modine. Yeah. They're blonde.
Yeah, they should play brothers in a movie together.
That would be cool. I'd watch that movie. I've looked up the Bruchek reference, and I don't think it's in reference to anything. I love that Alan, the police officer, is Alan. There's a detective called Crispus Allen in the comics.
Okay.
So I don't know who that's a reference to, but
it's good that they took so much stuff from comics for this too.
Mm-hmm.
We're going mobile.
Yep.
I really don't get the complaint about the Bane voice. I really don't. It's like the complaint about the Batman voice that Bale does on the list of stuff that I don't care about. That's on there. That list is getting longer and longer.
Yeah, I mean, if you read the script for Batman Begins, and, like, granted, yeah, they didn't include this in the movie. Okay, if you look now, you'll see all the street lights are on. So obviously it's getting evening.
Yeah.
But it's the thing that he clips into the ear when he's making the cowl. That's like a vocal modulator thing. So it seems to be some type of, like, function of the cowl itself. So that's why, people have a complaint in this movie too. We'll see later when Catwoman disappears on him, and he's like, so that's what that feels like. And they're like, why does he use the voice when nobody else is there? And it's like, that's what the cowl does.
Okay.
Now, the voice wasn't as intense in Batman Begins, but so obviously it was a stylistic choice that they went with. And now we see it's really dark out. So, like, obviously time has passed.
This could be a pretty long tunnel.
Mm-hmm. Well, clearly is. I mean, look at it. We get a really good Dark Knight Returns reference here. When we see Batman for the first time. You're in for a show tonight, kid.
Is that it? Is that the...
Yeah, that's the line.
Okay.
I love this EMP cannon thing that he has.
Or he can't shoot the computer?
Well, yeah, it deactivates like electronic stuff, and obviously modern vehicles all use like some electronics in them. So
mm-hmm. Yeah, at one point I was going to try and be a mechanic, and they said, well, there's a lot of electronics in cars these days. More than likely, that's what the problem is.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I really like the Batpod.
I actually prefer the Tumbler.
I think...
Oh, sorry. Anne Hathaway in that cat suit.
I think, obviously, the Batmobile's classic, but at the same time, like, I think a motorcycle would be far more practical in a city just because, there's traffic.
Yeah.
I mean, also, he's called the Dark Knight, and, motorcycle's like the modern equivalent of a horse, so seems appropriate to me.
No one thinks to block the Wi-Fi.
No. When I first watched this movie, I kind of wanted to see another, like, Batman fights the cops scene, like they had at the end of Dark Knight, and in Mask of the Phantasm, and in Year One. All these things. That's a motif that I really like in Batman stories, is when he fights the cops. But I kind of thought at first, like, he evades them way too easily, but, that's kind of the point, I think, is, like, to show, like, they, like Alfred says, they are a bloated police force. They haven't... because basically they fixed the crime problem, the police have gotten lazy.
Yeah.
And we see they allow Bane to escape.
Yeah.
But I'm rambling. You need to say something.
Yeah. What's that touch? This is not my this is not my favorite part of the movie. It's just like stuff's happening. I was on the edge of my seat when I was watching this, and I think, I think costumes have gotten way too detailed just because of the high def.
Yeah, that's a good point, and that's my point that I always trot out when people say, why does every fabric have to be textured? And it's like, because spandex looks like shit in high definition.
I didn't particularly like the new Superman outfit because it was way too detailed. It's like,
I'm okay with it. It's not my favorite, but
I prefer the classic one with the underwear. I don't know why people make such a big... Oh, he's wearing underwear. It's a fashion. It's the way he's always looked. Why is that such a problem?
Well, I mean, the thing is, too, they deliberately try and make the suit alien and Kryptonian and say, like, it's part of their fashion. Well, couldn't you just rationalize the underwear on the outside as Kryptonian fashion? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm agnostic when it comes to the underwear. Like, I don't really care whether or not he has underwear, but I'm fine if he does. Like, I don't think that's inherently any more silly than wearing a cape. That spinny wheel thing that the Batpod does.
That's cool. That's cool.
I could watch a movie that's just 2 hours of that and nothing but that, and I would be perfectly entertained.
Okay, now, clearly at the end of this alley is where he stores the Batpod for later.
Yeah, which we see when he gives it to Catwoman.
Yeah. Then he flies this out. Okay?
Yeah.
Keep track of where the bat is at all times, because this is a thing that's brought up later.
But it works if you pay attention.
Yes. God forbid people do that in a movie.
I hate to come across as like one of those people who's just like, oh, well, you just didn't get it. Well, so many of the criticisms of this movie are just like people didn't pay attention. I love how Daggett is dressed like Gordon Gekko in Wall Street. He's got that like turtleneck that's like so 90s.
Sorry, that movie was 80s?
80s.
That was
Lady.
bleeding 80s. That was such an 80s movie that should have had leg warmers in it. I love that she uses the No one's accused me of being dumb. uh,
Everybody complained about Anne Hathaway's costume in this too.
Dude, it's cool. It's sexy.
Well,
because, she is too, so...
They kept saying, like, oh, she needs to have a cowl. And it's like, Catwoman has only really worn a cowl in the past, like, maybe 20 years. Like, for the first, like, 40 or 50 of her existence, she wore an outfit that kind of looked like this. And it's like, it's not... I mean, they are deliberately going from things that are established in the comics and in previous live-action incarnations. It's just like, no, it's just a thing that you don't personally like. So, you can't really make that criticism. It's just a taste thing.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense for Catwoman to wear a cowl.
Well, in this, like, everybody knows her identity. So it's like, her hair can be out, that's fine. But, I mean, this is like 60s Catwoman. I mean, you go back and watch the 60s show.
I like this music in this scene.
Oh, I do too.
I can't hear it, but I love it.
I love Batman up there too. When he flies down, that's just like right out of an Alex Ross painting.
Not really an art critic, but I know what I like.
A lot of people complain about the fights in these movies.
Oh, I so don't care.
And I don't know why.
That's not the point.
The
point is the friggin' story.
Yeah. Well, I think the fights are fine. I mean, people complain about Begins a lot. And, like, the dock scene was, like, it's shot so you can't tell what's going on. But, like, that was deliberate there. They're trying to show Batman from, like, the criminal's perspective.
Stealth.
Yeah. But, like, we see the fight here fine.
And it's not they're never pretty fights anyway. I don't want to see them.
They used a fighting style that's really, really brutal. And I like that. Because, Batman is efficient and to the point. He's not going to be jumping around like an idiot. But I guess some people want it to be like the Arkham games.
Okay, now he lands the bat here. This is not where he leaves it.
No, he takes it to the cave.
Yes. People don't pay freaking attention.
No. And that's where he leaves it, presumably. But we'll get to that, I think. What do you think of the design of the bat?
Oh, it's cool. I kind of miss the one from the design from that 89. Not necessarily that it's packed with weapons.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
It's kind of funny to see just how her disposition changes, because she was quite terrified when they were flying around. You could tell. It's kind of like she's never seen the city from, that height before.
Okay, this is the last time you see it before we see it again. Okay, yep. So...
Burst of fall.
Yeah.
That's what that feels like line is from Kingdom Come. When Superman does that to him. Oh, there's another cube. I like that we got to see him in the suit without the mask on.
Yeah.
That was kind of one of those things on my checklist of, like, I wanted to see in these movies.
Excommunicated by Ra's al Ghul. I liked that they connected that too. I liked that this was more of a sequel to Begins than it was The Dark Knight, because I think Begins is the better story overall. And people bitch that he's not in the costume until, like, later in the movie. That's kind of the point. It's an origin story, and that wasn't told on screen before. And it wasn't really told in the comics either.
Well, and it makes you care about the character regardless of whether or not he has the costume on. Like, they actually provide motivation for Bruce Wayne, and that's good. That's what you should be doing in an origin movie.
Okay. He's about to leave him, but we already covered this point, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, It is like an addict.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never had to do that before, so I wouldn't know what it's like, but...
Not terribly fun.
No.
It's kind of interesting how, like, everything looks blue in this scene, too.
Yeah. And I like that he brought up the whole thing with Rachel as well. That was something that was like the one thing I was hoping they'd pay off from The Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had to be told.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
And it's kind of the same way for, like, Gotham City has to be told, you know, what happened with Harvey Dent.
Secrets like have to be revealed.
Yeah, in order for them to move forward and to grow. Because they just become dependent. So Gotham becomes much more, I guess, anti-fragile.
And he's still in this depression. He's still in this depression that he needs to get out of. He's not afraid to die, but he's afraid to live.
You said it perfectly.
That's the whole point of this first, like, hour plus of this movie.
This is the story of how he learns to live again.
Because he hasn't been living. He's been such in a funk.
Yeah. Oh, Alfred. You're going to make me cry.
That was such an upsetting scene. I was nearly crying in the theater with that moment. Oh, I was like, he's leaving him? That's like, I was like, that's brand new. It's like, what the heck? They're really doing something here.
Bale gives a really, really good performance in this scene. I guess he's walking up the stairs now. It's very, very subtle, and I like that. But, like, you can see the emotion. And I like that he kind of thinks Alfred might still be there.
Yeah.
This big empty house.
I like that we got Daggett Industries in this too.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff being brought from various forms of Batman. That's brilliant.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing that's really cool about adapted media, is they're able to, like, take all different kinds of things and, like, strip away the fat and just kind of get to the heart of it and mix and match and create something new. And, you know, only take the best parts. Oh, he's gambling on futures. Go ahead.
What do you think of Talia's plan? Sorry, that's another thing that gets brought up too. It's this whole. I think it's a brilliant plan. It's like anyone can just walk up to him and shoot him. No, we want to destroy him and then kill him. That's better.
Well, it's revenge, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. You really want to make him suffer as much as possible.
Yeah, because he killed her dad.
Yeah.
And like maybe she didn't like him, but to quote another revenge film, just because some flatfoot throws your brother off the building, just because some caped freak throws her dad off a train, or crashes a train, doesn't mean that she doesn't care.
I think it's kind of interesting how Talia, in a sense, is sort of a dark mirror of Bruce and, like, what he could have become. Just totally obsessed with, like, getting revenge for what happened to, you know, the parent figure.
And, like, he was at that point, too, in Begins, because he was going to go up and shoot.
Yeah. shoot Joe Chill.
Now, I didn't know that there was this other person that killed his parents. I thought it was an anonymous person, or it was, if you would take the 89 thing from it, it was actually the Joker.
It's changed throughout the comics a lot. I don't even know what's canon anymore. Because, like, certain things will be brought in, and then they'll be, like, booted out of what's in continuity. So, and then sometimes Joe Chill is still alive, sometimes he's still out there, sometimes he's dead. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what's the case anymore.
He could be anywhere. He could be anyone. The movie is so trapped within within the franchise. Its sequel to begins. It does do elements from The Dark Knight, brings them into it. It is a true trilogy. These movies, like, and that's very hard to do.
It is. It's not just like a single story with this character, and then another single story with this character, and then another single story with this character. They all build off one another.
Oh, I loved this scene in the theater. I paid you a lot of money, and you think this gives you power over me? Like, it's that cliched line turned on its head. Like, what? You think I give a shit about money?
Yeah.
I'm a friggin' mercenary, man. I'm a psychopath. And he just touches him here, and you don't see anything. It's so well done.
Yeah.
It's like,
just
and you can imagine
and
you can imagine what's happening just by the Torchwood guy's reaction.
Yeah. Oh, there he just put the hand on. Damn. And I like how Bane says, like, he's necessary evil. And that's kind of his whole thing, is like, I kind of feel like this Bane is kind of a decent guy, but who just chooses to do really terrible things, because, I mean, that's all he's ever known in a way, but we see, like, he valued the innocence of Talia, who didn't really have any innocence, because, she was raised in the prison, but, he likes the voice of the child. He's a softie, but he has to do terrible, terrible things.
Mm-hmm. And he's doing it all for the love of a woman. Mm-hmm. Could you think of a worse reason to do stuff?
Oh, and here's Bruce. He's explaining the mask.
Oh, I've already gone past that.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Are you watching this at, like, faster speed than I am?
I'm pausing it. Tell me when you're up to what he's in Catwoman's Selena's place.
Yeah, that scene just started.
Okay, I'm not that far ahead then.
I think we're just like half a minute out of sync or something.
Yeah. I like that scene too, but
yeah. And then the line at the end of it where it's like, I'm sorry they took all your money. No, you're not.
They took. Glad, like, it adds dimension to the character. Anything that they do different in these movies, if it's done well, it works. Like, they can. Like, wasn't there a whole series of Green Arrows where they took away all of his money?
Yeah, there was. I think it's kind of interesting too, because it's like he really hits rock bottom, because he loses the company, which is his family's legacy. He loses the house. He loses all the money. He's got nothing. I mean, even when he ran around the world for all those years, he had something to come back to.
Yeah.
So he really has to hit rock bottom in this before he can bounce back. And literally, he goes under the earth in the pit prison.
Yeah. He has to rise.
It's almost like that word in the title means something. Which, it kind of interestingly does in a way, because, the title of Batman Begins is, has Batman in it. Batman's a name. The Dark Knight is a title. And, Gordon kind of dubs him as the Dark Knight at the end of the second movie. And then, what do knights do after they get knighted? Well, they have to, kneel down and get the sword put on either shoulder. And what do? They say, Sir, whomever, arise. Stand up. So it's oh, that makes sense. He finally comes into the role as the Dark Knight.
And if we couldn't establish more that Maggie Gyllenhaal was the better Rachel, we put her in her photo in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only one bad casting decision in all the...
And I think the Katie Holmes thing, from what I understand, was like a compromise Nolan had to make in order to get Christian Bale. So I don't think Katie Holmes was terrible in Batman Begins, but just kind of compared to everybody else. You have Christian Bale, Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, Gary Oldman, Liam Neeson, all these amazing actors, and just kind of compared to the rest of them, she really sticks out. And
what do you think about... what do you think about him having this moment with...
Some people think that this was him losing his virginity, but I don't think so.
No.
I love how she's totally playing him, though, because she's like, where's Alfred? Who's this? She knows where Alfred is. She knows who that is. She's just pushing his emotional buttons. Because she knows he's probably going to go fight Bane, I guess, and...
Get his butt kicked, which needed to happen.
Yeah, or I guess she's trying to... she says to him, let's go away. So, she's trying to seduce him and get him out of Gotham. But...
Now, there is no reason to suggest he took the wing out for this. He didn't really have to.
No, because they establish it because he's standing on the bridge. So, we see he didn't go by that route.
Oh, another criticism brought up. It's she's totally leading him into a trap.
Well,
he knows he's going to fight Bane.
I find it kind of surprising that he just, leaves her there, though. Well, there he is on the bridge there, right? So...
Yeah.
They establish, that's, I guess, how he got into the city.
Head again.
But, yeah, we saw the scar, like you said.
Yeah.
Hints at something. Her background.
Yeah, I picked that up right away. I'm not stupid.
I didn't say that you were.
No, I'm just telling my viewers I'm not stupid.
No.
All right.
Well, they know. That's why they subscribe to you.
Yeah. Someone was bitching that Catwoman totally leaves him in a trap, makes Batman look stupid. What? You don't think he knew he knew he was going to fight Bane.
Yeah.
He could care less that it was a trap.
Yeah, really. Good point. That was deliberately why he was going down there.
It's I'm going to go fight Bane.
Yeah. So he didn't know that
care
Bane
that there's
was
not
or waiting for him, but
yeah, I was well, okay, this is not. But this was so cool. I was they're going to fight.
Yes.
And the only thing I was hoping for was he's going to break his back, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happens? He breaks his back. I'm happy.
Oh, man. This scene is so brutal, this fight that's about to start.
Yeah, and you get to see all of it, and you see people's reactions to it. It's not a pretty fight. Because guess what? Fighting is not pretty.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's really not. And like,
If anyone who has seen a UFC fight will tell you, it's not pretty. It's not a ballet dance. This is not a dance.
Yeah, exactly. I like how they brought that up. You know, Bane is expositing all the themes that we talked about with the police force and stuff of like, you know, victory has cost you your strength. And you can totally tell that Bane is going to win in this fight, though, just from their posture at the start of it. Like, Batman is all, like, shoulders, like, moved forward, which is, like, an unstable position. You know, Bane is, like, he's always standing there perfectly straight with his hands, like, in his vest. And it's like he's got his shoulders down and back. This guy, you know, knows how to move. He's totally large and in charge. I mean, you can just tell by looking at them who's going to win in this fight. And he has that line of like, you know, you fight like a young man. And it's kind of like, yeah, I guess he is, like we said before, you know, emotionally stunted.
And
oh, he deliberately punched him in the knee there, like his bad knee.
He knows it's weak.
Yeah. Theatricality.
Here to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny. But
which is kind of, I mean, it's kind of interesting. Like he has that line of, you know, I am the League of Shadows, and I think people maybe misinterpret it because a lot of people are pissed that like Bane is quote unquote just a henchman, which isn't really true. But you know I think what he means by that is like he's totally subservient to the League of Shadows. Like that is his whole reason to be. Oh, did you see that there?
What?
Batman was punching him in the face. Bane let him until he hit the mask. And then that's when he threw him off of him.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah. So it's like...
sorry, I'm nearly up to the back break.
You must be watching this faster or something.
PAL conversion.
Yeah.
It must be PAL converted, this one. I didn't know if it was or not.
I'm at Bane, you know, giving his darkness speech. He just grabbed Batman by the throat.
I'm not that far ahead. Tell me when all the stuff comes crashing down.
He just punched him in the head and we saw the thing crack. I love how the suit looks when it's wet like that. That's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's just about to blow it up. I love how Bane does this like crazy classic villain kind of speech. Yeah, the thing just fell down. He just stands around and he's so mocking in that respect of like, yeah, I'm playing the part of a supervillain, so you know that's how I gotta act.
It's not a pretty fight. It's a brawl. It's like a UFC fight.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Ah, crack. The one moment I thought everyone would want, and they still bitch.
Really?
Oh, they like the movie in general. It's like, come on.
I don't know. Like, I was not really expecting them to do that, and I remember like pretty much crapping my pants in the theater when like he reached down and like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and then he lifts him up like, oh my god, they're actually gonna do it, and bam, you know, they totally did. Catwoman's feeling guilty now.
Kind of the point.
Yeah. Nobody's home for John Blake.
And people weren't 100% sure that who she was going to be. Like, they weren't... I heard a theory by... that John, like... Someone thought that Joseph Gordon-Levitt was going to play, like, Falcone's son from Long Halloween.
That was one of the rumors leading up, but that's just because, I mean... he looks like him. That was like just a rumor somebody just made up. That cock fell for
more on Long Halloween. Check out my review on my channel. And another one on Alex's channel as well.
Yeah. She has a pretty big rap sheet.
I can't see her rap shit from this angle. Oh God, that was so bad. I'm not in. Made sense. Should have been like, you're looking at her rap sheet?
She's terrified though, and I would be.
Oh yeah,
too,
she's scared. There's no one to stop him. Okay.
Oh, they both realize that they both know that he's Batman. I'm kind of surprised that she didn't figure it out earlier, though, with all the "I have a powerful friend" stuff. But I can buy that she maybe sees that, like, oh, the rich can afford even their own superhero vigilantes. I do think it's a little weird that, like, Bane captured him, left the sewer, flew to, I guess, Morocco, and then, flew back just to drop him off at the prison.
Well, he's not needed, really, at this point.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Because they're still basically just having all the guys pour in the concrete and get everything ready. And the police are in no shape to go, take him down.
And like you said, they're not trained as well as they used to be. They're not expecting this.
Yep.
And see, the time works in that favor. It's like nothing's happened like this before. And as I said, oh, it's peacetime.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it just takes one bad day.
Yeah.
Do you feel that they completely nullified the Joker in this movie, or is because I think his presence is still there.
I think so too. I don't think he needed to be in this movie or be referenced in this movie, because the effects of everything that he did are felt in this.
Gotham is ashes. You have my permission to die.
I love that line.
Oh, yeah. He just said it. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, Bane is so... his line delivery in this scene is so interesting. Because it's like, the not torture of your body, and then he kind of, looks off in the distance and is like, of your soul. really softly. And he's like... It's like he's remembering how horrible it was there.
Breaks the guy's wrist, yeah.
Oh, you're that far ahead again?
Already? Really? There's Bane standing in the boardroom.
I'm not there yet. She's just about to break his wrist.
Well,
do you have some weird cut of this or something?
No, it's just the PAL conversion. It gets it going faster.
Oh. Okay.
I keep forgetting. I keep having to pause it. But yeah.
Yeah, there's Bane in the boardroom.
It's Miranda Tate. Now I remember her name. Yeah, so, of course, right when she's getting close to the whole point of this.
I like how if you look closely at Bane's mask, it kind of makes the same shape as Ra's al Ghul's beard.
Yeah.
That's clever.
Very clever. Okay, the police are about to get all trapped underground. Now, that's one of the points. It says foolishly trapped underground in this. It's like, the evidence suggests that they're there, and they're going to need a lot of guys to go and get this army that Bane's got, so...
Well, I have a couple points about that, because it's mostly Gordon overreacting. I mean, literally every cop is not down there, as we see when they have the the resistance. There are multiple cops who aren't there, like who aren't trapped. But anyway, if we go back to the Dark Knight, Gordon makes similar kind of rash decisions when basically they're all getting together to go take out the Joker because they learned from Maroni where he's going to be, and then the Joker realizes this and he calls in the threat to blow up a hospital, and then Gordon's like, oh shit, and he sends all the guys off to go protect the hospitals, and then there's nobody left to go get the Joker where they knew that he was going to be. So Gordon has a history of overreacting and kind of doing stupid things, and Foley kind of half-assed the search, and so Gordon's just like, fuck it, just send everybody down there and find them. But it's like, it seems kind of appropriate because like if Osama bin Laden had been hiding in the sewers underneath New York City, like you don't think they would have sent like a whole lot of cops down there? Like that would have been priority one.
I love this actor that's telling the story to Christian Bale.
Yeah.
But I need you to keep talking because I have to go for a little walk and I'll be back in a second.
All right. I think it's really good that Bruce has TV reception down there in the prison. But I guess they're going here to set up a bomb, or I guess detach it, and the police are all heading in. And so, like I said, if a really major terrorist or something was hiding in the sewers of a major city, they would send everybody down there. And lots of explosions. Even the cops are somewhat afraid to go down there, it seems. But it's kind of interesting how, I guess they have all the maps of the sewer system and everything, and they know what walls just to blow right through to get to, whatever places they need to go. They don't even need to go up to the surface.
Okay, I'm back.
That guy who plays the boardroom member, who's in Batman Begins as well, he's like Chris Nolan's uncle.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Applied sciences.
Oh, turn this power source into a nuclear bomb.
Which is kind of interesting because, like, that's something that people talk about with regards to the end of this movie. In that, like, wouldn't everybody die from the radiation? But nuclear bombs don't totally work like that. Basically, like, obviously, radiation has a half-life, and Hiroshima and Nagasaki, after the bomb was dropped, because it's an aerial detonation and not at ground level, basically they were clear of radiation in like a week or two, or like maybe even less. But specifically this bomb, they say they turned into a neutron bomb, which was a type of bomb that was developed by the American military specifically to release high levels of radiation. Because it developed originally as an anti-tank weapon, but it didn't really work for that. So I think they basically stopped developing them. But the radiation that's released isn't typically released far outside the blast radius. So getting it far away from the city, like Batman does, is perfectly fine, like science-wise. So again, history and science lesson.
I learned so much just talking to you.
Oh, he's confronting the cement guys.
Yeah.
I wonder, did they have to plan that train in the background? Because, like, if this took multiple takes, it would have been like, there's a train, then there's not a train, then there's a train.
That's in this other movie. It's called Catch Me If You Can, but it's not the one you're thinking of. Not the. Okay. It's a bit this 80s B movie But yeah, it's clear that like they had shot and the town is like, and then it's not so far down in the next shot because it's like this thing called editing.
Yeah.
No one cares.
But I mean,
I like the actor that plays the mayor. By the way, I've seen him in a couple of things. It's really cool.
Shit's about to get real.
The infamous scene from the trailer that...
Yeah.
Like...
Made us all kind of crap our pants.
Like... They just, like, showed this scene over and over again. Like, climbing up. And it's like...
The bridge is blowing up.
Blowing up, yeah. Like, what the heck?
But I like that they went this route with it. Rather than No Man's Land where it's like an earthquake and, the United States just says like, fuck Gotham City, we're not going to even bother. Like, that would never happen in real life. So I like that it was part of Bane's deliberate plan to, separate the city.
Yeah. And, by the way, Wayne Manor is not on the island.
No, it's not. It's across the river. Which, they actually do a really good job of geographically setting that up in the beginning.
Yeah.
Which I really, really liked that. It's a lovely, lovely voice.
Too bad I'm just about to blow him up.
Yeah, we never see what happens to the kid.
The scene, he obviously makes it up because then they do the kickoff.
You're right.
It's like, it's a very low. And he goes up to, but he could be in the skybox with the mayor. And he's like, "Yeah, you have a lovely voice out there." Boom.
I think it was kind of interesting because the American national anthem is, sort of about withstanding, battle and stuff. And the flag's still there and stuff, and that's kind of appropriate for the movie, I think, with everything that Gotham goes through. Because
the Aussie national anthem is better.
Oh, the Canadian national anthem is better than the American one, too, but we gave them their national anthem from the War of 1812, so you're welcome.
There goes the mayor.
Oh, he's just about to go from me. Blake is like, oh my god, everything's blowing up. Even this stuff, which is like very obviously visual effects, was done pretty well.
Yeah.
The mayor's like, what? Boom.
And there go the bridges.
Man, that's...
the one thing that ticked me off about these movies?
Mm-hmm.
Like, in The Dark Knight and this one, it's clearly, like, Chicago. In the Begins, it's clearly a made-up city, and I kind of miss that.
Well, in Begins, it was pretty clearly Chicago as well. When they do the overview shot, it is actually like the map from the comics that they based the city on, but then when we see things, it's like it's very obviously Chicago. And they basically, I guess they said, like, we shot every part of Chicago that, we could have shot in, so they decided to move to New York. And I guess city design-wise, you would kind of need to with the bridges and stuff.
Yeah.
Because Manhattan's an island.
Stuff like that bothers me when it's continuity.
Yeah, I agree. But
need I bring up the difference between the Schumacher and the Burton films?
Yeah. They must have gotten a new mayor who was really big into, like, neon stuff. Gordon's still with it enough to take out his assassins.
Yeah. Festival of Assassination. Kill the assassins. Sorry, I only watched that movie the other day. It's part of my Star Trek day.
Mm-hmm.
It was Star Trek night. It was actually across 2 nights because, well, sleep was required.
Yeah. There are a lot of movies. Gotham General Hospital. I wonder if that's the hospital that Thomas Wayne worked at.
Probably.
Would have been cool if we just, like, in the background seen a little plaque or something.
Yeah.
But who knows?
This was good. This was alright with the visual effects. But if you look at it too long, you can see the flaws in it.
Yeah. All visual effects are pretty much like that. But I think we'll get to a point someday where it's indistinguishable. I love the clear the corners rookie line. I like how they just wheel the bomb out.
Here's the bomb. We're going to blow this city sky high.
Oh, poor Dr. Pavel. Because Ben's like, hey, this is the only guy who knows how to disarm it. Hey, I never noticed that. I mean, next nap. That was something they did in Man of Steel as well.
That movie.
Yeah, that movie.
It's a movie.
If we do a commentary for that one, there will be a lot of, what the fuck were they thinking?
Yeah, they'll be like, this makes no fracking sense. This makes no fracking sense.
Oh, MC Bane. I like the YouTube video that somebody made where it's like him doing a rap.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
It's hilarious.
For more Bane comedy, there is a video on my channel where it's like Bane and Blue Dragon 5 and myself doing Who's on First for like 20 minutes, which is not really that good. But it's okay. Okay.
Doritos.
Let's plug in some product placement.
Yeah, done much more subtly in this than in Man of Steel.
Oh, God. No, yeah. That... Maybe you gotta pay for the movie somehow.
Yeah. But there are ways to do it that aren't so blatant. And I mean, it makes sense that there's going to be big advertisements at a football stadium.
Yeah. We gotta pay for this stadium somehow.
Oh, fighter jets. I love fighter jets. But, I mean, it's kind of interesting how, like, you know, Gotham City gets isolated and, like, Bruce Wayne gets isolated. And this movie is very fractal with the themes. It's like you can zoom in on any level of it and, like, the same thematic stuff is going on. And I like that.
It is, really. There's so much in this movie. More, like, Dark Knight has a lot in it, too. But this has a lot in it as well.
A lot of people throw the term epic around nowadays. And I think this is a place where it's actually appropriate, since this movie is huge and sprawling.
Yeah, it's kind of like every movie's an epic now, but that's because, like, so many of them get so much money pumped into them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is going to be the hit of the summer. No, this is. All the lights are going out.
Barack Obama's not... Oh, I'm not that far. I was going to say Barack Obama's not the president, some other guy is.
Yeah. They couldn't afford him.
It's funny. Yeah, the lights are all going out now.
If I were American, I'd probably be a Democrat, so I probably would have voted for him. Sorry.
You don't have to apologize, it's your channel.
I'm apologizing to all my subscribers who are Republicans.
It's okay.
Sorry, guys.
You can keep listening, and bipartisanship is good. So.
Yeah. I don't necessarily agree with every Democratic view.
No.
I don't necessarily agree with every Labour Party view over here, even though I'm constantly voting for them.
Oh yeah, the party's. I mean, there's no perfect political party. Everybody that I've voted for, I've also wanted to punch in the face. So
Yeah.
I love Bane's speech. It's
Yeah.
so well
He
done.
couldn't be in this movie because we killed him off. And he tears it in half. Symbolism.
Symbolism. Yeah.
We didn't see Arkham in any of these movies, I don't think.
Yeah, and Begins.
Oh, yeah, Aaron Begins. Damn. Okay. We didn't see him in The Dark Knight or Rises. We only saw it in Begins.
But this is Blackgate Prison, which is from the comics, so that's appropriate. Breaking news. I wonder if Mike Engel retired after being kidnapped by the Joker.
Was he?
Yeah, in The Dark Knight, he was kidnapped by him.
Okay, I can't remember that. It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
Obviously, this is based on, quite heavily on The Tale of Two Cities. And Bane is like this crazy kind of Robespierre guy with like the whole French Revolution thing. And just like his coat. I mean, that's so classic.
Sorry, I haven't seen a movie based on that, and I haven't read the book.
Oh. You should. It's very good.
Yes, it's on the list of things to see and read.
I'm not really a huge Charles Dickens fan even, and I quite like it. It's kind of interesting here how, John Blake turns on Gordon a little bit. And like he's still kind of, I guess, learning what needs to be done.
Yeah, he doesn't understand how deep how much trouble was going on when the Joker was there. He's like, well, you just lied to us. It's like, dude.
Yeah.
You weren't there. Okay, if this doesn't make sense, why would there be guns on those things? They're based on the Batmobile. Come on.
Well, I mean, they were originally developed as a military technology.
Yeah, it's like... So, obviously, Batman disabled all that stuff. But, like, we see that there was more stuff on them. It's like, oh... makes me miss them even more. Miss it even more.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of speculation about us getting a new Batmobile in this movie. And we didn't.
Yeah, we got the Bat instead.
Yeah. Would have been cool to see a Batboat, but I don't know what he would have used it for. Given that it's, called Dark Knight Rises, it makes sense to have an aerial vehicle.
To my fans that watch my wrestling videos, apparently Elijah Burke, a.k.a. the Pope, is apparently in one of these shots, somewhere here somewhere.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he was a glorified extra. I say that because there was one shot apparently of him in the movies, and he's he was absent for so long. It's someone I like, so it's disappointing that didn't get there. At the time he was on this really big kick high, so disappointing.
Of course, Bane's causing his whole revolution and turning everybody against the rich, but he doesn't really believe in any of it. That's the interesting thing.
He just wants to kill a whole bunch of people.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the whole League of Shadows point, is to kind of be that forest fire, that Ra's al Ghul talks about. Bane says, the fire rises. To kind of wipe the slate clean again and start society over. And the way to do that is to show, a society completely fail. And, Bruce, I guess Bruce's philosophy is totally the opposite of that. Is he doesn't think that it's inevitable that things are always going to become totally corrupt. And so he says, we can, rather than just starting over again, we can build something stronger. A society that is more robust and anti-fragile, and yeah, I like that. He's, for all the talk of these movies being, I guess, like dark and depressing and all that kind of stuff, they're very, very hopeful.
Yeah.
And I think it's just kind of like aesthetically, yeah, they're dark, but ultimately they're very, very hopeful and optimistic, and I like that.
To go back to what's happening in the city, the chips are down, and they're eating each other.
Yeah.
It's
somebody said something about that.
Yeah, so someone who I talked to the other day and was very cordial to me, and I wasn't expecting it.
We see young Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. There was so much in this movie I wasn't expecting because I avoided the trailers after a while. I was just like, oh, I gotta avoid it. I can't watch. I don't want it spoiled. I made a speculation video and that was about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so much of my expectations were surpassed or met. I just loved this movie. Okay. Another thing people criticize is just able to punch it and make it better.
Yeah, well, thing is, he says you have a vertebra protruding. I didn't take that to mean it's sticking through his skin. I just took that to mean it's out of place.
Because if it were, he would be dead.
Yeah, he would have... If your vertebra was sticking that far out of your back, you would be fucked. You would never walk again.
It's a little bit out of shape. Liam Neeson. This was awesome moment in the cinema. I was like, what the heck?
Oh, you're way ahead of me still.
Oh, God. I'm pausing.
He just cracked his back.
I was a chiropractor in a previous life.
Yep. Now Liam Neeson's showing up.
Give me back my daughter. I don't know who you are.
I kind of think that Rob Roy and Taken are maybe prequels to Batman Begins. Because it kind of is sort of Ra's al Ghul's background.
Yeah. There's a meme online from the first Taken. It's, I don't know who you are, I don't know, but if you call me during Doctor Who again, I will kill you. It's yes, no!
I like how Ra's al Ghul is wearing I think it's the same suit and shirt and tie that he was in when Bruce first meets him. I'm pretty sure it's that combination.
Yeah, it's me coming out of surgery for the first day. I was could barely walk. And I had to go 10 meters to the loop. That was hard.
I can imagine.
Now, I think a lot of the complaints because it's very hard, it would be very hard for someone that's not paying attention to realize, oh, time is passing over here.
Yeah, well, they do a pretty good cut here where it's he's in the prison and then boom, snow on the ground in Gotham.
It's
time's passed.
It does take him a while to get better. And I forget, my mother is a nurse and she was yeah, it would take him a while to heal, but it's not it's a huge difference. In time. It would have taken him 6 months to fully recover, but I think it was that she said.
He's in the prison, or in the pit for 5 months, so...
Yeah.
I can't imagine all the falling, though, with the rope would have helped his back any.
No.
But
Even if little roles are played by good people, like good actors in this.
Yeah, that's something Nolan did really well consistently with these, is like even for small parts cast, the best possible actors. I kind of wish we'd gotten to see a little bit more of like what life was like in Gotham during the siege, but I think they do enough, but it's just, I like No Man's Land, so.
Cap keeps plugging that on his channel, and I'm like, oh, I'll read it. I'll probably grab it. I have to go to Sydney sometime, so and comic book store's not far away. So. Oh, apparently this is all kung fu bullshit about the jump. Like, okay. Kind of symbolism, people. Symbolism.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll get to the point where he actually escapes. Like, this is just his first attempt here, but the thing is, it's like, you got to remember what was the last thing his father said to him? It was, Bruce, don't be afraid. And so his whole life, he's basically just like rejected that. He's refused to feel that emotion. He's just, felt angry instead. And that's the thing that he has to learn in the prison, is to feel fear again. And I mean, that they say that to him, in it here, and he's like, I'm not afraid, I'm angry. And prison Yoda, tells him that he does need to learn to feel fear again, because that's when he needs to escape the pit. And obviously the pit is symbolic of the depression that he's been in, and the post-traumatic stress disorder that he's been suffering from. And so, when he takes the jump, like when he learns to feel fear again, he is rejecting the last thing that his father ever said to him. So, it's clear to me that like that's symbolic of him overcoming the trauma of what happened to his parents. And so, when Batman comes back to Gotham City, like, ooh, that's a complete person. But I guess we're seeing here the Special Forces guys are showing up.
Oh, I love that fitness. Oh, like what Payne does. It's just like, yeah, you think you're going to do well, no.
I like how.
Sorry, I'm just absorbing the awesomeness that is this movie.
Yeah.
But I got notes here that we'll cover just during the credits. I guess is all that's left. Because
really?
It's like all stuff at the end that people bitch about.
Oh.
I love this whole bit with the chips are down, the city's in trouble. There's no real hope, and it's just like Joss Whedon says. If everything's okay, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Because he was like, when in reference to Buffy the Vampire Slayer, he says, Buffy happy, show bad. Buffy unhappy, show good. So, if there's nothing to overcome, what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
If we know the hero is just going to come in and kick everyone's ass, then what's the problem? Stakes have got to be high.
Yeah, and I really hope that all the people, who are just in the general audience and who, were not familiar with the comics and Bane and everything that was going to happen, I hope that they were like really, really surprised by that first fight between Batman and Bane.
I wasn't I hadn't read Nightfall, but I heard so much about it. I was like, ooh, this is a good story to tell. Because doesn't like Nightfall and then it leads into No Man's Land or something?
No, No Man's Land happens a little bit after.
Okay.
But yeah, but I don't know. People complain about the backtracking thing, and then it's like the way that he gets fixed in the comics is like even more ridiculous. So
okay. that's a comic book world, so I guess that's easier to forgive.
Yeah. I don't know, but it's always one of those things where it's like, why does Barbara Gordon have to be in a wheelchair when she lives in a world with Lazarus pits and robotic exoskeletons and stuff?
Yeah.
This Special Forces guy's kind of a dick.
He's about to die. Bane's about to kill him.
Yeah. I love that line, too, of like, I bow to your schedule.
And he's like, it's such a cool thing. Like, turn all those action hero things on their head. It's like, fine, I'm going to kill you anyway. I don't need any information from you. I got what I want.
Yeah. Because I guess that's the thing.
Oh, I love this. Just the guys, Special Forces guys hanging and he's.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's brutal.
It's like that. No, I'm getting out of here.
I really like that because, like, it makes sense that, like, Bane doesn't care, for any information from them because he knows that, like, this is a limited thing. Like they just said, like, the bomb is going to go off at a certain point, no matter what.
He's got what he wants. He doesn't need anything else from him.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need the information. He doesn't care. Bomb's going to go off.
And it's a really good... It's kind of a better plan than Ra's al Ghul's plan, honestly.
Yeah.
To really show, a society fail, and to see... doing what he did obviously puts way more of the focus onto Gotham City, just all around the world. I mean, obviously it was a major city still in Begins, but, like, it really puts the focus on, like, everybody is watching.
Yeah.
And to, that really...
Reality TV at its most...
that helps make the point, even better. Oh. Ouch.
I do not fear death. I fear dying here. While my city burns.
Burn. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
I like Ian's thought on what Joker was doing at this time, because I doubt he was executed.
I really don't know. And, I mean, there isn't any evidence either way. But what is Ian's theory?
Ian's theory is, like, everyone gets released from the prisons, and Joker, someone comes to the Joker's cell door and asks, it says, we're riding in the streets, it's your dreams come true, and Joker turns his Batman out there. It's like, and the guy's like, no, we think he's dead. Okay, I'll just stay here. Because there's nothing for the Joker out there.
Yeah, that's true. He's just obsessed with Batman. I don't know, whether or not he survived, or cause we don't know if they have a death penalty or not. But I know I always kind of presumed, probably the SWAT guys at the end of the Dark Knight shot him in the face or something. But he's maybe in a cell in Arkham, heavily pumped full of antipsychotics.
Oh, you just figure out what the Joker blog says I'm doing in 8 years.
Yeah. I love this whole scene with the climb and him jumping out. I love the music in it so much.
Yes.
The score for this movie is fantastic.
Hans Zimmer is my favorite composer now.
Yeah.
He does a great job even in the cheesy movies, even in Hansel and Gretel. By the way, I love that movie. It's dripping in cheese, and I love it. It's like a cheese pizza covered in extra cheese.
Those can be fun though. So.
Okay, now here's the big question: how does he get from there to?
Oh, he's just jumping for me.
Gotham. Okay, well.
Oh, he just leapt. Oh, he made it. Yeah, well, I think he called the Bat to come get him. Because he said that the autopilot was fixed. Or, I mean, we find that out at the end of the movie.
Can he remotely call it from that much of a distance, though?
Well, all he would need to do is probably just maybe get a cell phone. I don't know. I mean, worst case scenario, he got some, like, private flight or something. He bummed around the world for 7 years on his own and was fine.
That was make my point for me, why don't you?
Like, they pretty well established that he can do this kind of thing fine. And, a lot of people will say, like, oh, well, the he's Batman excuse, doesn't work. But, like, yeah, it does. Like, they've well established this.
He's freaking Bat. Okay, this is the one scene I thought, okay, they brought in Cillian Murphy because they didn't have Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger would have been, like, trial from animated series.
Interesting.
Like, if there was one scene, like, they were going to bring him back for, it would be this, but...
That could have worked.
Yeah. Like, it would have been different because it's, like,
it
would be the Joker and, like...
I still think, the point gets made that, like, this is an upside-down world. It's a kangaroo court. You have this crazy guy being the guy in judgment.
Yeah, like, that was, like, a little thing, yeah. Okay, this guy gets way too good of a death.
Yeah. No, obviously...
and it's a better death than he got in Torchwood.
It's obviously very reminiscent of Batman Begins. When Bruce falls through the ice. But
Ice. When does that happen in Begins? I'm sorry.
When he's training with Ra's al Ghul.
Oh yeah. Duh,
Mm-hmm.
Duh, Magpie. Get your facts straight.
Oh, Gordon's pissed. Foley's not around.
Bang bang. Oh, sorry, you wouldn't get that reference. There's a wrestler named Mick Foley.
Oh, is there? That's funny.
He's bumming around as Dude Love and Cactus Jack and Mankind. He's not a fat bearded guy with long shaggy hair. I like Foley. After this, he says, "I'm not telling you to do this." So where's he going to? He does that.
Yeah, I like that. That's funny. They paid it off well.
Yeah. But the whole thing about how Bruce gets back. I think the point is, no, it's not that. It's that he is back.
Yeah, the specifics don't really matter. Like, if they'd shown him on a plane or flying back in the Bat, like, what would that have added? Like, nothing.
It's exposition that's not required.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's kind of the thing is, like, people criticize the first two Nolan Batman films for kind of spoon-feeding the audience with exposition. And then in this film, they don't do that as much, and then everybody complains. So it's like, no matter what you do,
you're fracked.
Yeah. Somebody's going to complain about it.
Why can't she ever just give me an apple?
Take a bite out of here.
Yeah, I got apples. You want apples?
I like how in this scene she's deliberately trying to, restrain herself and not, like, leap at him and give him a big hug. She's trying to keep her elatedness that he's still alive under wraps.
It's subtlety, people.
I thought the clean slate thing was a good MacGuffin.
Yeah. It's good.
I mean, This movie's not subtle, but I mean, it's a
Oh,
superhero movie.
it's subtle, isn't it? Like, with certain things, it's a bit, like, it's not spoon-feeding you every single little detail. Oh, this is what this means, and this is what this means, and this is what this means, but...
Miranda Tate's getting involved, and that's why everything goes to shit. That's the thing, like, if you go back and rewatch this, like, things only start to go wrong when she's around.
It's like, come on! Can we be any more obvious?
Mm-hmm.
She's totally not Talia. People, she's totally not Talia.
Yeah. Uh-oh. They're under arrest.
The people of Gotham.
I like that.
And I like that they already know what's happening.
Mm-hmm. I like how Gordon really stands up to Crane, too.
Just Nolan must like working with Cillian Murphy, because, like...
Yeah, he's in pretty much everything.
Like, he's in Inception.
Mm-hmm. In all the Batman movies. I don't know if he's going to be in Interstellar.
Probably.
I hope.
I'm looking forward to seeing that, to be honest.
Oh,
I'd much prefer an Inception sequel without Leonardo. I agree with Ian on that. I want to see an Inception sequel.
It's certainly an interesting world and like a concept that you could do a lot of movies with.
Like, literally anything could be pumped into that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could go completely ridiculous with it. People would buy it. Yeah, and the chick that plays Talia and is in it too. Is Inception too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like...
Marion Cotillard.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting in this scene, though, like, that's just going on now. We see they're taking Gordon and them off, and she's with them, and then she's just like, oh, no, I'm not going. And, you know, obviously they let her, you know, go, because I guess they know who she is.
Yeah.
I know that's something people have kind of criticized, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around that little part of how it works, but I think it works.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all this.
Because they haven't run into them yet, and they're like, well, obviously they want her for something.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because Bane says, you know, keep her close, he'll come for her.
Mm. Here we go. So, he flew the bat from at least Wayne Manor to here. From the cave to there. That's how he got back into the city itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. It's one of those, you just pay attention. But, it's nighttime.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious about the timetable for this, though, because it's like, I guess it was evening when they were taking Gordon and them, or when Gordon and them were on trial, and now that they're taking them out, it's like night, but who knows? It gets dark early in winter, so.
Yeah. And like, it might be late evening, but it's supposed to be like 7 at night or something.
Well, I mean, if it's winter, it could be fucking, like, I don't know, like 5, maybe even 4:30, like, if it's the middle of winter. I imagine this is January, but I'm not sure. Because, like, the beginning of this is autumn, this is winter, and then the very end is spring. When he hits that piece that's sticking out when he falls down, oh, man. Batman spent a lot of time painting gasoline on a bridge.
Yeah, it's movie logic. Okay.
Yeah.
I just saw the subtitle, Miss Foley. Sorry, wrestling joke. It's just like it's there. It's gonna be laughed at. Uh-oh.
Shh. The fire.
Impossible. Keep her close. He'll come for her. Yeah.
Dishy boss her, motherfuckers. Dishy boss her.
Kevin Smith was right, though. It does sound like, this is awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome.
I like how Bane's kind of shitting in his pants now, too, that he's back.
Like, what? But I kicked his ass.
How could you have returned? I broke you.
I broke you.
Well, it reminds me of that Hemingway quote of, like, you know, the world breaks everyone, but some of us afterwards are stronger in the broken places.
Yeah.
And the Stargate guy is going to kill John Blake.
Oh, that is him? Like, very minor role. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. This is very, like, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City here, this fight, where he, like, fights the, like, 10 guys. And we get to really see him do his stuff. He's brutal. Fuck.
I love this. He throws it. Gonna need something a bit bigger than that. I got it. I just needed a target.
Well, I mean, I think part of it, yeah, that's a good point. I never even thought about that. Like, I thought it was just, like, showing him so he doesn't blow himself up in the cave later. But, you know, that's a good point. Like, the missiles are probably heat-seeking. So it would make sense. Huh, that's clever.
Not just a pretty face, man.
I love the noise that the bat makes. It's so cool. But I think we see here really that this is a different Batman, one who has gotten over the trauma of his parents. Because something people have complained about is like his use of guns at the end of this. And you know, I think he's over, you know, what happened to his parents, so he's more willing you know, to use them at this point. I mean, like he says, you know, it's war. You know, there really isn't any other choice here.
What use of guns? I can't recall seeing.
Well, at the end when he's flying in the bat and he's shooting at the truck.
Oh, desperation, man! There's a nuclear bomb there.
Yeah, exactly. But again, like I think he's overcome the trauma of his parents being killed, so he's kind of over the gun thing, at least somewhat.
I would totally go with that.
That's why you're not the hero that we deserve.
Nor the one we need.
I love how the cape is over his shoulders in this scene. We needed way more of that in these movies. I love that look. But she loves him. She loves him.
I need a bike like that so she can just ride it.
Screw the bike.
Ride her instead, yeah. Good point. I didn't want to go there, but okay.
I like his line of, you know, not everything, not yet. And I think like he's finally clued into what he needs to do. You know, how to be that everlasting symbol like he talks about in Begins. Like that's what he hasn't given them yet. He hasn't given them that symbol that he set out to originally, so that's what he's going to do.
Oh, this is the bit where guns get used, but like, hello?
Yeah.
People will die.
Oh, here's Foley in his fancy uniform.
Bane is clearly a fan of the first Doctor. And the second.
There's only one law in this town. Which is good, because it's like it shows that the cops are standing up for themselves again, and they can actually fulfill that role, you know, of keeping law and order. I mean, if they can fight against a freaking militia of criminals that are led by essentially a warlord, I think they can stand up to, mobsters going forward.
It's going to be a bloodbath. And that's what I liked about it. It was not easy. People?
And then the bat just, drops down out of the sky and blows the shit out of that tumbler.
Tell me when Catwoman blows the shit out of the tunnel.
Okay. Oh, they're running.
They're running. There's only one little thing I want to.
Yeah, she's blowing it up now.
And we'll get the last little thing. Oh, and two things. Does Talia coming in, being the master planner, really nullify Bane? No, we've had
fucking Darth Vader for the Emperor. That doesn't make him any less intimidating.
Yeah. Granted, Bane doesn't throw Talia down a pit.
True, but...
He took her out of it, but
yeah. She took him out of it.
Yeah. She took him out of the pit.
But the way I see it is like a company, right? She's the CEO, she's the chief executive officer, he's the COO, the chief operations officer. She makes the decisions.
He's Triple H, and she stepped him in.
He's the one who actually has to carry the shit out and figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And when we see later on, she says, don't kill him, and he decides to kill him. So, he clearly doesn't follow orders.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's dude, you had 2 hours of Bane, 30 minutes of Talia does not nullify that.
Mm-hmm.
Frack. They took the bomb. Because some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
I love
this day they could.
Yeah. Some days, but this day. I like how even in that sense, there's references to the 60s movie.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting in place. John Blake. He's a good person.
Yeah. I don't understand Manus's problem with him. I really don't. I've tried to figure it out. I just can't.
I get how people might have wanted a more straight-up Robin and stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't dislike him.
I don't think we needed Robin in this universe.
Well, we had him just in a different way. It's kind of more of a concept.
I like how that...
In a way, too, Robin serves to take Batman out of that, funk, out of the darkness, and keep him in the light a little bit. And John Blake serves that purpose.
And there's a little bit of the battle, because for a while there, Dick Grayson was Batman.
Yeah.
And he was actually a fairly good one. I read a couple of comics with him as Batman. They were really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guy that was around the comic book store at that point was I hope when New 52 starts, it's Dick Grayson Batman. So at least some people were looking forward to that. This is really a good fist fight. This is.
Bane's clearly can kick his ass, but Bruce is smart about it and, just tries to get him to a place where he can hit the mask. Once he clues into that, he starts winning the fight really quickly.
Yeah, and the crazy woman a shotgun, man. Mm. Didn't you see? Where's the trigger? Where's the trigger? I can understand that perfectly. I don't care what it is.
Yeah. He's pissed.
Yeah, he's male PMSing.
I like the way that he bends him over the table. That's kind of funny. You think something else is going to happen. And then he turns... with this line, too, with Bane's line, throwing it back at him, he's like, this is a different Batman. This is just... This guy is different.
I didn't escape it, though. It's But I never escaped.
Yeah.
But the child. I didn't clue into the twist the first time. I was like, oh, but I did. It's like, what? She's Talia? Awesome! I didn't even hear that reference that she was Talia. I thought it was pure speculation.
No, I pretty much knew as much going in, but it was cool when they finally confirmed it. I like, too, how she stabs him in the back when, Ra's al Ghul has that line in Batman Begins of, like, somebody stands in your way, just, walk up behind them and stab them through the heart. And, I mean, she had to sleep with him, so he's penetrated her. She penetrated him back.
It didn't seem to...
Symbolism.
Symbolism.
I love how she has this completely psycho look in her eyes. She's frightening.
She plays psycho well, that woman.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just changed from Miranda to Talia in the subtitles. Like, they went to that much effort. Like, the minute that shows up as Talia, they changed her name.
Well, they should. I mean, she revealed it, so...
Yeah, I was just like they took that much effort with that.
So apparently the pit is in Morocco, but that was filmed in India.
Okay.
Oh, poor Bane. He's got his face broken. And the shitty doctor, who's a morphine addict, can't operate properly. I think Josh Pence, who plays young Ra's al Ghul, looks a hell of a lot like Liam Neeson, so they did a really good casting job.
Yeah. I agree. Beeping. Yeah, okay.
Oh, Bane's crying. He's
been friend zoned.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny, too, because, like, they tell about how he protected her in the prison and, needed that little bit of innocence. Obviously, she wasn't innocent. I mean, she's raised in a prison. She's a fucking psychopath. But, he sees something in her that's there that's not really there. But in the comics, Bane has a teddy bear in the prison, and that's kind of like his little bit of humanity there. And Talia is his teddy bear in this. Really, when you think about it. I like that. It's clever.
He was pissed that Leonardo got to have his way with her. He's like, no, now it's my turn.
You need to dream a little bigger, darling. But I don't blame Ra's al Ghul for excommunicating him. Like, if it's this creepy guy who has a crush on your daughter, even if he's very capable.
Yeah. Because clearly Bane's supposed to be a lot older than she is.
I would imagine he's at least 5 or 10 years older. Yeah.
I imagine it's closer to 10 than it is to 5. Because she looks like she's like only 10 in that prison scene, and he's clearly like 20.
Maybe, I mean, you can maybe justify it and say he's a teenager.
18 at the very, very least.
Part of it, that though, is just like you can only make an actor look so young. But yeah, there is an age gap between them. But they were. I guess Gordon cock-blocked them, and they couldn't trigger the thing.
Yeah.
Your knife was too slow.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Yeah. To you, maybe.
This guy in the bridge is a dick.
Yeah.
But it really does show how John Blake gets really disillusioned with the whole system.
Yeah, that too. I want him to feel the fire.
Yeah.
She's totally prick teasing him?
What's the word you're looking for?
When the girl's totally fake hitting on you.
Yeah, she's just leading him on in order to manipulate him.
Yeah, well, I was looking for a different phrase, but yeah, that's pretty much it. She's totally fucking leading him on.
But she is a psychopath.
He's on the hook, man.
Yeah. See, I don't like how they killed Foley here. And,
really?
And we saw, at least in the set footage, I saw some stuff, because I heard people complain about this, and I went back and watched it, because I tried to avoid all that stuff before the movie, but he gets, like, shot, and then, hit by the tumbler that they're driving.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Frack.
And the other big thing that people complain about, that Catwoman took out Bane. Which, isn't a consistent complaint anyway, because if they're complaining that he's only a henchman, then isn't it fine for only Catwoman? Like you can't make both of those arguments.
Yeah. Pick one! Either he's a fucking henchman, or
he's the main villain, like...
Yeah. I don't care. He fucking got shot by a fucking cannon. It took a fucking cannon to get rid of him.
Mm-hmm. I love this final battle chase around the city thing. That's probably my favorite music in the whole movie. Aside from maybe the jump. Or the climb, I guess it's called.
The climb. It's all about the climb. No, not that one.
I would love to see Hans Zimmer do a musical, though.
Blow it.
The only thing I can really complain about here is, like, he should probably be bleeding to death. Because he got stabbed, but...
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's called...
Depends where she's stabbed.
Adrenaline, and I'm fucking Batman.
Yeah. The adrenaline is probably pumping like crazy because, he has to save the whole city from a nuclear fucking bomb.
Yeah. I ain't got time to bleed. Yeah, Jesse Ventura gave him lessons in how not to bleed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, bridge guy. That bat is so cool. I don't get here why, like, he flies up ahead of them, because that does just allow them to, like, shoot the missiles at him.
Yeah.
But, oh, here comes Catwoman.
Yeah.
She's gonna do the spinny wheel thing here. And it's...
I already saw that bit. Action sequence.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here she goes.
Yeah, here's the bit from the trailer that made me like...
Which bit? Oh,
where he flies up over the building.
Yeah.
It
doesn't make sense that he flies ahead like that, but it is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, here it is. It's going... There's explosions. It's going...
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to get rid of these rockets. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they're locking in on because they're clearly not. I don't think they'd be heat-seeking because it's like, isn't it just powered by power? Because it's like a helicopter jet.
But it's probably producing some heat.
Heat, yeah.
Because there's an engine in it. So.
Flips over the thing. Flips over the building. That was like it was like they have that because I thought it was a tumbler. Oh, the tumbler can fly.
On rooftops. Oh, whoa. Flips right over.
You're not going in the right direction. Who cares?
I like how he brings him back and takes out one of the tumblers. She's pissed.
Yeah, okay. Clearly Gordon should be dead after this scene.
Yeah. Probably.
But movie physics.
True. I mean, it's conceivable he could have survived. He might have, like, a broken arm or something. Depends, like, I guess, like, whether or not that thing's moving around in there.
No, he's probably just grabbed onto that at the right time.
Yeah.
Oh, he does look like he might have a broken arm, man. No?
Who knows?
Oh, is this scene with Talia? Are you up to that where she's crashed the truck and he's gotten out the back and
He's getting out the back now.
Okay. Let me know when he's at the cabin. Because this was a criticism.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good point. He did just grab his arm, so he must have some type of injury.
Yeah. But
yeah,
apparently the worst death scene ever. I'm like, okay, you clearly haven't seen a lot of movies.
I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was terrible. If you read the script, it's described somewhat differently than she plays it. So take that for what you will. But
well, she has worked with Nolan a couple of times, so I imagine it gives her a bit of leeway.
Morgan Freeman's getting wet. I don't like how they just stand around here and watch her talk.
Yeah, it's like, clock's ticking, man!
Like, literally, there is a ticking time bomb.
You know, not the fucking doctor.
Everybody just stop fucking standing around. She's the villain. You don't have to listen to her speak. It's okay.
Yeah. What's she saying? I'm just trying to get rid of this nuclear bomb. Oh. I could have played Batman. I kind of totally would have taken a kiss from Anne Hathaway.
Oh, yeah.
No, all right. My mum would say, no, they pay him to stop.
That's clever.
They don't pay you to kiss her. They pay you to stop kissing her.
Oh, this is the part that makes me, like, freaking cry every time.
Oh, yeah. Okay, he might have done that more than once, but he figured out, okay, that's Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm. He tells him. Well, I mean, he basically exposits the whole theme of the movie. You know, a hero can be anyone, and that's, you know, Batman is more than just a man. It's more than just a man.
Yeah. He's a symbol. Incorruptible.
Yeah, he's the Dark Knight. He does things that, you know, people can't do. He has to act outside the law.
How did Nolan make a bad Superman movie?
Well, he didn't. I mean, that's the thing. Like, he was involved in the crafting the story and getting the thing greenlit, but that's it.
Yeah. And then shitty writers came along and fucked it up.
Well, you know, he co-crafted. The way that I think it happened was probably, you know, David Goyer had an idea, and he told Chris Nolan, and I mean that we know that much to be true while they were working on this movie. And you know, Nolan's a big sci-fi guy. He probably liked that element of it. He co-wrote the story with him, and then Goyer went and wrote the actual script, which is, you know, the nitty-gritty stuff. And then they hired Zack Snyder, who's, like I said before, kind of a tone-deaf director, and so you have a terribly written script with shitty dialogue, and
yeah, and they've got to have that final fight.
Yeah, well, Nolan was against the neck snap, but
I know. That's why I'm like, how did he? He didn't.
Anyway, we're watching Dark Knight
Rises, yeah, and
he's flying out over the bay.
Hate you. Yeah.
And this is something people complain about too, is some of how this is the final bit is edited with the counting down. I think it works. It's not great. They could have done more to be more explicit about what.
Flashback to show how he survived the explosion.
Well, I don't think we need to see how, but I just think we need to see that maybe better that he could have escaped sooner. But you know, it's okay. Like, I won't go into like analyzing the specifics of it here, but I remember watching this in the theater and being like, am I dreaming? Like, did I just watch a Batman movie that had a fucking nuclear bomb explode in it?
And I was like, oh shit, they killed off Batman. I was like, okay.
Batman can never die.
It's like, okay, they really, and for like till that last shot, I was like, they're really going with this. They're doing this. They really want to end the franchise here.
Well, I mean, they do. Even though technically
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne survives, and Batman will be, I guess, reborn again. But John Blake obviously is fed up with the system. He goes Dirty Harry and throws away the badge. This Gordon is very poetic. I mean, he makes all those big speeches that are very well worded. He reads from A Tale of Two Cities here at the end. This is a Gordon who's got class.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I failed you. This is another criticism. Bruce Wayne wouldn't do that to Alfred. No, he's got to be dead. He has to be dead to really sell this. He needs that reaction from Alfred.
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of, I don't want to say payback, but it's like he does the same thing that Alfred did to him. He kind of, Alfred left. Alfred wasn't a part of his life anymore. And then, Bruce, I guess, thinks that he's dead for a while. Like, he might have thought that he was for 7 years before. Obviously, Alfred was able to cope then. But, he sort of maybe teaches him a lesson, in a sense. How do you feel about the statue?
It's okay. I imagine they would erect a statue to him. He saved the city.
Mm-hmm.
From a nuclear frickin' bomb.
I don't know. I was surprised. I didn't necessarily like it all that much at first, but I'm cool with it now.
How much money do you think he's left with? Because it's like enough for Alfred to go traveling. So.
Well, Alfred probably has a fair amount in saving. Because, like, what did he really have to do all those years when Bruce was gone? Like watch the house, do a little cleaning.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do, the one thing I do like about Manos, this thing he did say was, what if it was just like officer, detective, and then at the end you find out it's Terry McGinnis, and it's like, well, that would have worked as well, but I don't mind the way they did it, so.
Well, honestly, Robin is way more classic than Terry McGinnis is. And yeah. I think if they had said any name, whether it was Terry McGinnis, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, no matter who, the general audience would have been like, who the fuck is that? Like, we have no clue who that is. So, they did need to just make it Robin.
Yeah. And it's like you said, that there is elements from just about every Robin in there.
Mm-hmm. All the main ones, anyway. I guess up until Damian, but I like how he leaves a little something for all of the people, though.
I'm still around.
Yeah.
Swing.
One thing I may be surprised by is that Gordon is still commissioner at the end. I mean, he did do a lot to save the city during the siege and stuff, during No Man's Land, essentially. But Bane did come out and reveal that, everything that happened with Harvey Dent was a cover-up by Jim Gordon.
Yeah.
So, I don't know exactly how he kept his job, but maybe they were just willing to overlook it, or there just wasn't enough hard evidence, because, Bane is a supervillain.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to believe that guy.
Nods his head, and then that's all you need.
Oh, yeah.
He's not like, you made me think you were fucking dead.
Just stands up and yells at.
What the And the Dark Knight Rises.
I'm curious as to where Alfred went after he left. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, we don't need to know. I'm just like, I'm curious. Because he was probably watching the whole thing from afar. Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
I like how, you know, they position Batman and the Batman persona as, in a sense, that allows Bruce Wayne to take his anger and use it in a positive way and eventually use it to overcome the trauma of what happened to, you know, his parents and the trauma, the effect that had on him. And he gives that to someone who went through a very similar thing. So it's like passing it on, and, you know, he's given John Blake the means to get over his hurt too.
Yeah, because he's gone through a similar experience.
Mm-hmm. And it serves, you know, the purpose of protecting the city. If things ever go to shit again, there will be a Batman out there ready.
Yeah.
But Gotham City's stronger now.
I do. As I said, I do love this movie, and I was sad to see it go, but I knew it was the final chapter, and I was glad that they weren't dragging it out necessarily, but because there were, like, granted, Batman's such a deep universe, you could probably do a lot more with it, but clearly by this movie, Christian Bale was getting old, and he's like, I don't know if I doubt he would have had another one of these in him. And it's kind of a complete circle now.
Yeah, they told the story that they wanted to tell, I think.
And there was no need to drag it out. I mean, It was. I think, thank God, Begins came along and it's like saved Batman from the horrendous thing that was Batman and Robin. And like, without these movies, we wouldn't have those DC Direct DVDs as well, because they were really good. They're really good as well. There's a bunch of them I love. I like most of the Batman ones that they have released. Wow. But yeah, it's all around. It was really I think this was a really good way to end off the series. Like, I like all three of these movies. I would put all three of them within my top 20 movies.
Mm-hmm.
I put Begins above it because I just think that Begins is a better story. I'm not sure where Rises would land on the list, but it's definitely up there because I do have did have to do a list for all my favorite movies, and this didn't make the top. Don't think it made the top 10. So correct me if I'm wrong. But it's been a couple of years, so there might be some different movies on there. So
yeah,
and that was as of then.
I think any problems with this are mostly in the script, and I think this just needed another pass to make it that much tighter. But I mean, overall, the broad picture of this is totally on point and totally impactful to me anyway. Thematically and emotionally, this really resonates with me. So
there was a lot of fan service in this one too, especially with. I think it was quite a bit of casual fan service with the relationship between Catwoman and Batman, and even Robin being referenced. I think that was like purely like casual fan service.
But it works within the story too.
Yeah, and I have like no real big like I might have a couple of nitpicky problems with some things in this, but like really, when I think about them, I'm like, well, no, it still works.
Yeah.
It's nothing. But
do you have anything else left on the list?
No, I don't. Like, we hit a lot of the stuff early on. I've even closed the document too.
Well, it's good then.
Yeah, I don't think I had any problems really with this. It's just I couldn't hear any of the sounds. So
yeah,
that's the only problem I had. But are you on board to doing another one of these down the line?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I know I probably talked your ear off, but
that's okay.
I really like this movie.
I guess after we finish recording, I'd rather make a decision then on what's next. I might leave something after we finish talking to signify what's going to be next, like a picture or something of what might be next.
Oh.
But yeah, so
watch to the end, folks.
Yeah, watch to the end, because the credits are nearly finished for me here too. Because this is not Avengers, and there's no teaser thing at the end. So yeah, stay tuned, because we're gonna probably do another one of these. I think probably it won't be until after we do our next Aussie and Canuck podcast, because I know Mr. Enthusiast is going to be busy. So
yeah, got a fancy gig now.
Yeah,
I'm working.
And I've got a fancy gig that I've got to be doing too. So yeah, that's the only reason, guys. So I'm the Magnificent Magpie, and
I'm Superhero Enthusiast.
Thank you for listening to us ramble on for nearly 3 hours. Bye. Hello, the next commentary will be on Captain America, the First Avenger.